Baoni going through thought. What is good, my people? Today, we have the final Superman versus Goku. Dragon Ball versus DC Comics. The last two, part 1 and part 2, was 20 minutes, and each one 20 minutes of just Superman getting glazed by these people. Absolutely glazed. And doing Goku dirty, just forgetting things like instant transmission, like mad. Absolutely mad. So hopefully in this one he gets some justice, and they actually like use all of his abilities, because like they kind of aren't, which is again crazy. But before we get into the video though, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that noti bell. You can find my socials in the description below. Long intro over, let's get into this video. Dale.
Son Goku,
Superman.
it's time to answer the ultimate question, and we're taking it all into play.
Listen, you answered this question two times prior to this one, and you failed. So I'm expecting a different outcome, to say the least. And mind you, I'm a fan of DC Superman, so like ain't nothing against it, but like it's just the way they're doing Goku. Well, they've done him in the last two ones, the 2013, 2015 one. They just did him so dirty, which made me upset.
We're examining
A lot of people upset because like it wasn't a fair fight.
Superman's extensive mainline comic book canon. Given Dragon Ball Super's contentious continuities, we'll include all three, just to be thorough, plus Dragon Ball Heroes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Far away, in an enchanted land, an old master found a boy and marveled at his uncommon strength. This is the story of Son Goku.
Chances are, if you've watched some localized anime, you can thank this guy.
Inspired by martial arts films and his wife's interest in Chinese culture, Akira Toriyama crafted the story and the character that would define generations to come.
Dragon Ball! Kakarot was born a low-class Saiyan on the planet Vegeta, narrowly escaped its destruction by Frieza, and was raised on Earth by happy old Grandpa Gohan.
Not just raised, but trained. Gohan began Goku's teachings in martial arts, which he would find to be his true calling under the guidance of Master Roshi. Specifically, he learned the Kame-sen and Ryu style, which focuses on discipline and tenacity, both of which strongly define Goku's character.
The more he learned, the more he wanted to improve. This little low-class monkey boy would prove that hard work and dedication can beat raw talent. Within just a few years, he was so strong, the only worthy teachers left were gods. And a talking cat, but mostly gods. When you're training to dodge lightning, you know you're a few leagues over everyone else.
He did have a slight advantage. Saiyans are naturally superhuman. They also take Nietzsche's famous words, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," very, very literally.
It's almost unfair how much of a boost in power they get after they're hurt.
While Saiyans like Vegeta may have abused this trait, it suits Goku. No matter how many times you knock him down, he will get back up, stronger than before.
It helps that he knows so many cool combat moves, like the Kamehameha!
An incredibly powerful technique that focuses one's ki into a single point for a devastating beam.
So challenging, it took Roshi decades to master, but Goku got it in like 5 seconds.
It's incredibly versatile, with over 50 different variations. For example, Goku can curve the beam after firing, or even shoot it from his feet.
But unlike most Saiyans,
I forgot he can do all that with that Kamehameha. One thing too that I want to just like point out, I'm not sure if you guys watched the part 1 and part 2, but like the way Death Battle has like evolved over the years is mad. It's just to show like how like you gotta adapt and evolve to, you know, with the times, or you get left behind. There were other channels that did this type of content, and they're not with us anymore. So that battle happens to stand the test of time for, you know, other reasons as well, because they have different content on their channel too. But like Again, I just wanted to point that out because it's crazy.
He doesn't just use ki to blow shit up. Moves like the Solar Flare, Energy Landbind, and Godbind require a lot more strategy and planning.
Because while Goku isn't exactly book smart, he is a genius when it comes to martial arts. He doesn't just train to conquer his opponents, but to conquer himself.
He's also got some different moves, like trapping you in a rice cooker.
Well, pretty much any container could be used for the Mothama sealing technique.
Then there's Kaioken, aka Instant Steroids. Goku's multiplied his power by 20 with it before, and in a movie, he even got it up to times 100. What a badass!
The Genki Dama, or Spirit Bomb, is potentially his strongest attack, but it requires considerable time. Unlike Instant Transmission, which is a teleport that's instant. The way it works is Goku detects another person, like a sort of beacon, then teleports to their location by launching himself through an alternate dimension where time stands still. Yes, according to the Daizenshuu guidebook, it's a dimension hop. You can actually see this in between space in some movies and games.
And the dubs wanted us to think it shot Goku's molecules around at light speed. Silly English.
The dubs did more than that. In fact, early dubs of Dragon Ball Z tried to rewrite Goku as a Superman figure. Even his famous speech on Namek about being the light in the darkness was originally about him coming to terms with his Saiyan heritage, accepting his anger and pride, avenging his people by defeating Frieza, and declaring himself the Super Saiyan.
Hell yeah! If there's any scene that deserves the word epic, it's when he went gold. Super
Yep.
Saiyan and its sequels all have official power multipliers, but they threw us for a loop by turning Goku into a god.
Super Saiyan God certainly changed things up. Goku gained Divine Ki, a pure form of Ki unspoiled by mortal hands. Unlike normal Ki, it can't be detected and appears to have healing properties.
Kinda like Senzu beans. Did you know one Senzu has so much healing juice it can regenerate a person's lost limbs? They're missing out.
God Goku reached a level of power that could compete with the greatest of deities, nearly shattering the whole universe with a single clash on his first go. Dragon Ball's cosmology is unique. This model is said to be an accurate depiction of Universe 7, but there's a wrinkle there. When all of humanity went to heaven,
Because Boo went berserk.
Videl commented that heaven is just as large as a universe, and the Daizenshuu backs her up.
And, that's heaven. Big planet.
So let's scale things up with that in mind. Doing so would make Universe 7 over 1,500 times larger than our own observable universe.
And Goku could destroy that much the first time he went God. And he didn't lose that power. He learned how to use it even better, even in base form. Now, imagine how much stronger he became when he stacked Super Saiyan on Super Saiyan God and became Super Saiyan Blue.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Yeah, not saying that. Or after he trained with some almighty angels. Or when he perfected the blue hairdo and stacked Kaioken on top of that.
Goku has certainly performed great feats with God Ki, breaking through Hit's time stop by forcing himself into the future, holding off Infinite Zamasu, who was a sentient timeline, defeating Jiren, who shook the entire world of Void by just walking.
He even tried out Hakai, the destruction god move that nopes you out of existence. Your being and your soul erased from all of time and space.
Culminating in his greatest form, Ultra Instinct.
Chrome Goku isn't a normal transformation, it's a state of mind. Ultra Instinct is the highest peak of martial arts, subconsciously making optimal choices because you're in the zone. Doing without thinking.
Something Goku has always been training to do. Technically, it can be used in any form, but when perfected, Autonomous Ultra Instinct makes you untouchable. No matter what comes his way, Goku will automatically dodge, block, and counter to the best of his ability, even pushing his body well beyond his physical limits. So far beyond, in fact, Ultra Instinct can summon a massive avatar to defend him when his own body can't.
That sounds really intense.
It is,
Mad.
which is why he's developed incremental versions of it for specific uses. It's extremely difficult to maintain the full form for long.
Until you get to Dragon Ball Heroes, aka Dragon Ball fanfiction gone Kaioken times 1,000.
While technically a different continuity, CC Goku is functionally a stand-in for the mainline Goku. His history and powers are the same, making his story just as much of a what-if scenario as the multiple super continuities. The only real difference is Toriyama's not really involved.
This Goku used instant transmission to teleport through time and dimensions. He outsped a god who could see the future. He defeated Dark King Fu, who was gonna rewrite the entire universe. Hell, this series even makes GT cool. Xeno Goku can break space-time just by going Super Saiyan 4.
Looking back at that goofy monkey boy chopping wood and punching dinosaurs, it's almost overwhelming to think about how far Goku has come, how
Yeah, it's
much
crazy.
he's had to face,
But no matter the challenge, he takes it head-on and pushes through.
showing everyone, everywhere, how to go even further beyond.
They did a better job in this one at outlining his abilities, powers, and whatnot. So I feel like we might be in for a different outcome. I don't know. We're not here for the outcome. We're just here for them to do a service to Goku. Do him right, give him justice for like how he was just getting manhandled in part 1 and part 2. So that's what I'm here for. Hopefully you're here for that too.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman.
Geez, just a locomotive? People in the 40s needed bigger imaginations.
Born on the far-off world of Krypton, the infant Kal-El was sent to Earth by his parents, narrowly escaping Krypton's destruction. Raised by farmers as Clark Kent, he eventually became Superman, champion of the oppressed, the man of tomorrow.
If you've only seen the movies, forget him. Comic book Clark's not the perfect Boy Scout, and he's definitely not Jesus. Wait, weren't the guys who made him Jewish?
Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were sons of Jewish immigrants and grew up in a time when anti-Semitism went largely unchallenged.
And then that ugly mustache showed up.
Understandably seeking escape from some truly terrifying horrors, the pair created Superman to be a simple solution to overwhelming problems.
A hero who could defeat any evil by just punching it. Hell yeah, that's how I live my life.
After almost 9 decades, Superman has been many things. At the core, his story is one of a refugee, a child who lost his home, left to the mercy of alien people. This new world accepted him, raised him, gave him a new home, because helping others in need is the right thing to do. That's why he became a superhero, the first superhero.
Everything's gotta start somewhere, but he was the first one to really take off. I mean, not literally. It took a while, actually, before he learned how to fly.
In fact, when Clark discovered his Kryptonian heritage, he struggled to accept it and subconsciously developed mental blocks, severing him from his true power, which he would uncover throughout his life.
He's strong enough to shoulder press the weight of the earth for 5 days straight, or crush coal into perfectly cut diamond.
That's not how that works.
He's fast enough to reach the edge of the universe in seconds, or even break the bonds of infinity. Wait, he can do all that, but Batman can punch him out? Really?
You're probably thinking of Elseworld stories outside main canon like Dark Knight Returns. It's a good question though. Superman's powers have fluctuated over time for a variety of reasons. However, for Death Battle, we take the characters at their best.
Yeah, like how his breath is so powerful he can sneeze away a solar system, or blow air cold enough to freeze ghosts.
Speaking of, his X-ray vision doesn't just see through walls, he can see through your own body and mind to examine your soul.
And yet, he can't see through lead. That's okay though, he can just burn through it with his face. Since he gets his power from the yellow sun, his heat vision burns with the fire of a star. And if beams aren't enough, he can blast it out of his whole body for a super flare. It used to totally drain him, but he's learned how to control it.
Simply put, Superman's powers defy physics. My favorite examples of this are when he rebuilt the reality warping miracle machine from memory, or punched Brainiac so hard every version of him felt it through all of time, or when he gained 10 years worth of medical training through only 5 minutes of reading and then successfully performed lung surgery.
Nice. My favorite example is when he smelled brownies in North Dakota from orbit.
Even beyond his powers, Superman is no novice when it comes to the intricacies of battle.
He's trained in Kryptonian martial arts, which uses Chi, or as they call it, Shriar. He even got summoned to Asgard to fight demons with Thor for 1,000 years.
Superman can resist being erased from existence, such as tanking Darkseid's Omega Beams. Even Retcon and the Time Trapper, both of which hijack and alter timelines, can't touch him. Not because of his powerful mental defenses or healing factor, but because he's a cosmic linchpin in the greater metaverse.
Timelines literally revolve around him.
But let's address the S-shaped elephant in the room. You may have noticed we've covered a variety of Superman eras. Superman, and DC Comics as a whole, have gone through multiple retcons.
Golden Age, Silver Age, pre-crisis, post-crisis, New 52, Rebirth, and so on.
It would help to know which one is the main Superman, right? Well, they all are.
Yeah, the latest reboots basically said everything in the main series is kinda canon, even when he had wacky powers like changing his appearance with a super muscular control. Ew. I guess he can still phase through almost anything, even people.
Look, if you really dig into it, this isn't new. Plenty of characters have recalled events from supposedly retcon timelines before.
Yeah, post-crisis Supes did start as less powerful than in pre-crisis, but that was because of the mental blocks.
Though he's not a complete composite, there's so many other Supermen out there.
Future Superman, Big Robot Superman, Commie Superman, Dinosaur Superman. There's a bunch.
Still, this new canon has affected his abilities. For example, he and other Kryptonians can effortlessly travel through time. And while Superman's powers stem from the Earth's yellow sun, exposure to a blue star increases them even further. In fact, upon visiting a white star, he attained a whole new level of power.
When that old baldy Lex teleported him to another galaxy, Superman just popped back up, saying space-time has lost its meaning for him. He really just said that.
Remember, Superman defies physics.
Like when he used heat vision to restart the universe by making an all-new Big Bang.
So he used to be able to like shoot rainbows out of his hand, so that's why I laugh, because it's just so random.
We've seen that his universe has a radius of at least 100 trillion light years, but we can calculate a more exact figure. The DC universe is 15 billion years old and expands at 60 trillion light years per half second. This means its radius must be over 50 nonillion light years across.
What? That's 31
These
zeros.
numbers
and
are just
Zeus
like
helped
so
make that happen.
wild
Well,
to even
about
think about.
one-fifth
It.
of it.
It's
That's
so
still
large.
immense power, but if you want something bigger, here's the Anti-Monitor blasting Golden Age Superman with all the energy of the antimatter universe. And then Superman,
Punched him so hard it kickstarted another one of those reboots.
Now, Superman does have weaknesses. There's kryptonite, of course, and exposure to red starlight can fade his powers over time.
Not all at once. He has been able to move planets around while under a red star.
And everyone knows Superman can't deal with magic, but it's more accurate to say he doesn't have any special resistances to it. He's defeated plenty of magic users before, even Shazam.
Superman challenges the idea that absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's the goodest good guy of them all, but there is nuance to being good, even if he is the ultimate power fantasy, unstoppable and incorruptible.
Such as when he took on the World Forger, one of the most powerful reality shapers in all of creation.
Who was in the sixth dimension, crafting a whole new multiverse to replace the one Clark calls home. Who's gonna stop him?
Superman could, and the Forger knew it. So he was trapped on a world with a sun so distant he could never escape. Or so the Forger thought.
Instead, Clark found the strength he needed to fly at that sun, dip through a ton of stars, KO the World Forger, and shatter his new multiverse with a single punch. Because that's Superman, a simple solution to overwhelming problems.
He's the kind of person to save a cat from a tree, answer Christmas cards from strangers, and tow hundreds of planets to a new galaxy all in the same day. What's not to like?
Truth and justice has no better champion than the Man of Steel.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Whiz, it's getting to be the holiday.
Combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Yo, this looks so good. Bro, the environment looks so good. Wow. Oh my god.
Today's the day. We'll finally settle who's stronger.
If you say so. doing just fine.
Then he went to blue.
Oops. Well, I guess we can wish it back later.
World made of cardboard. All right, I'll show you just how powerful I really am.
Looks like a job for...
Well, what do you think?
That was awesome! Nice suit!
Oh, thanks. Kryptonian fabric. My mom made it for me.
There we go. There we go. There we go. You better show him what time it is, Goku. Show him what time it is. He had to do an AoE attack. Couldn't touch him. Oh, so this is a problem.
Finally.
I have a bad feeling. I have a bad feeling. Muscle Ultra Instinct. Uh-oh.
Huh?
Oh,
Darn it.
Almost had me there. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it sure was. But I'll be stronger next time.
I look forward to it.
Let's go again.
You're on.
all right. So okay. So this time, I'm okay with the loss because like the way they handled the fight was so much better than part 1 and part 2. Like he was actually able to like do some damage, and like Superman just won because of like his solar powered hacks, I guess, where like it just makes him like limitless. So okay, I don't know. Let's listen. Let's see what they say. The reason why he lost.
The final indisputable answer. Who am I kidding? People are gonna argue this one forever.
There are so many ways this battle could go, especially with all the other continuities.
Yeah, for real. Goku would kick almost every other Superman's ass, except for the main one.
There's a lot to cover, so let's address the 5 categories most representative of this fight.
First up, strength. Both could hit hard enough to break or make their whole universe, or take it in stride, like when Superman got smacked by the whole antimatter universe.
At most, Dragon Ball's universe is 1,505 times larger than our own. But based on the DC Universe's officially established age and rate of expansion, it is 1.6 vigintillion times larger, over a novemdecillion times more than Goku's.
At some point, you reach a number high enough that it just doesn't mean anything anymore. Anyway, Goku's obviously gotten stronger since the Beerus fight, even by billions or trillions of times. He's defeated Jiren, Broly, Moro, and Fu.
But even if we highball Goku by
Who's Fu?
quadrillions or quintillions of times, the gap is just too much, especially with the World Forger feat. Not even Heroes competes with that. Superman takes the edge in strength.
But strength isn't everything. Let's talk speed. Both are obviously way faster than light, but Superman crossed that mega-sized universe of his in seconds and flew faster than infinity.
Makes sense, he can keep up with the Flash, whose speed is so ludicrous it's unquantifiable.
Don't count Goku out though. Flying across the entire afterlife in base form and outspeeding Eos's future sight takes some crazy speed.
Fighting Zamasu as an omnipresent merged timeline also implies immeasurable speeds.
That combined with instant transmission and ultra instinct could probably keep up.
Maybe. Quantifiably, Superman is faster, but both are immeasurable. The safest
No,
bet here is
okay.
to say they tie in speed.
Okay.
Especially when we
No, no, I don't agree with the tie because like moving speed of Superman, he has to move. Goku doesn't have to move. He can literally traverse time and space, different dimensions instantaneously. Like for Superman to move, he has to start, go, and stop. For Goku, it's just one action. For Superman, it's three. He has to again start, go, and move. Goku just moves. So how is that? Even if you just dropped it down to start and stop, right? Because he has to do that. Superman, Goku can just again move. So even if you again the two action versus the one action, like nothing is faster than instant. Unless I'm like bugging, but like nothing is faster than instant. So how is their speed equal? It doesn't make sense.
look at skill, Goku's a martial arts master. He's definitely got better battle instincts. He wants to fight and is dedicated to his training, while Superman sees training as a means to an end.
Superman's knowledge in pressure point combat and Kryptonian martial arts are impressive, but he's only used them a few times. It would be disingenuous to say he's an equivalent master at them.
So Goku wins in skill, but not necessarily in experience.
Don't get it wrong, Superman is not a mindless brawler. He's trained with Batman and Wonder Woman. He's even defeated martial arts experts like Cobra without powers.
Goku has spent decades training, but Superman battled Norse demons for 1,000 years.
He's also astonishingly brilliant, like when he reassembled the reality warping miracle machine from memory. Experience obviously goes to Superman, but perhaps less obvious is our last category, powers.
Hakai, Spirit Bomb, Mafuba, Instant Transmission, God Key, God Bind. How does Goku not win with those?
In Dragon Ball, Ki is dependent on physical ability, so it's different from Magic. God Ki is simply pure Ki, and Magic isn't an auto win against Superman anyway, whose greater strength could break out of something like the God Bind.
Mafuba and the Spirit Bomb would take way too long, and Goku's never successfully used Hakai before. Even if he did land it, Superman's impossible to erase from reality. Like, he's tanked Omega Beams, which do the same thing as Hakai.
Superman can time travel, countering Instant Transmission's similar ability from Heroes. And regarding teleporting him to a red star, ignoring the fact that Saiyans can't breathe in space, though Goku's certainly tough enough to withstand a vacuum, Instant Transmission requires another person to act as a beacon. He can't just warp to any red star.
Even if he did, Superman could simply fly away and find a blue or white star for a supercharge.
And Goku could not pull off the same trick twice, as Superman could phase.
But Goku can send his consciousness throughout the universe and find people. Like he has the mind reading ability. So I don't understand why that matters. And then if he moves again, he can just transport him back to the red star. So like and keep him there until he's weak enough for him to like defeat him. So I don't agree with that that point.
Through his attacks.
So that's it then. Clark has too many counters, so he takes the edge in powers and it's over.
Well, I think there's something else. Goku versus Superman breaches a broader zeitgeist. It's more than just two characters fighting. For a whole generation, especially in 90s America, superheroes represented an unyielding status quo. Spider-Man, Batman, Captain America rarely change who they are or what they believe in. For a lot of people, that's tiring, and Superman is an icon of that. Then along came anime. There was a whole other world of ideas and stories for us sheltered Westerners to experience, and Goku's an icon of that. So while many see this as a debate between characters, others see it as a debate of ideologies and culture. And if that's what's at stake, Who wants Goku to lose?
You're sure you're not overthinking this?
It's not our intent, but it does call into question what we're doing. How can people agree with what we take as fact when fiction relies on interpretation?
Yeah.
Are we stripping characters of their importance by simplifying them to contestants in a vacuum of violence? And if so, then what's the point?
Because it's fun, Wiz. Damn it, man. There's more than one way to appreciate something. We're having a great time talking about awesome characters and slamming action figures together. And that's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, no matter who you prefer, that battle was super, man.
That's the worst pun.
What? It fits
Nah,
them both.
that was
It's so lame.
I don't
that was
see
his
you
best
doing
fun.
any better.
I do the math, the pun's your job.
Well, maybe if you math as good as I punned, then Goku would have won.
What is wrong with you?
That was good.
Hi, I'm Ben, the voice of.
That was very very good. Like the visuals, the music, battle music, like everything was just spot on. Like I said, I do disagree with some of their points, but for the most part, I can see why now Superman won. But I can see it and I can understand, but I still don't agree because I feel as though like Goku is a battle-hardened warrior. Like, and then the instant transmission part, like that's the part where like again threw me off. Like, it just makes sense for him to like transport Superman to like a red sun area. If he tries to leave, you just transport him back until like he's drained. You know what I mean? You just keep the loop going. Like, that's the part where I don't know. But if the conditions are set the way they are, where he has like all these suns where he can just fly through and you know be sort of powered up through that, then of course like he has sort of that handicap. I said it. Superman had a handicap that Goku did not have. So fight me in the comments. I will see you next video, my people. Peace.